In this video, I want to talk a little bit about the life cycle of a loop and how everything runs through the life of the for loop. So here's a for loop, and you can see the first part of the for loop is the statement in x equals 1. That statement is called the initialization statement, or the init statement. And you always have this in a for loop. It sets what kind of the initial variable that's going to control how the loop runs, where it will start at. After you have your initialization statement, you have a semicolon followed by the continuation condition. And so x less than or equal to 5 says that the loop should continue running as long as the value of x is less than or equal to 5. And the last thing after the second semicolon is the variable change or variable modifier. And here you can see that the variable change is an increment or an increase of the variable x by 1. And inside of here, this is called the body of the loop. And that's what the code will be executing on each iteration of the for loop. So here's how this program runs as is. It first initializes a variable x to be 1. It then verifies that that number is less than or equal to 5, which it is. And because that's the case, it will then print out that value. So the very first thing it should print out is a 1 followed by a space. Then it goes up here to the variable change command. It makes x have the value now of 2. It'll then recheck to see that that value is still less than or equal to 5, which it is. And then it'll print out the new value of x, which is 2. Then it increases it to 3. 3 is less than or equal to 5, prints 3. Increase to 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5, prints 4. Increase to 5. 5 is less than or equal to 5, so it prints 5. But now when x becomes 6, the program will stop because 6 is not less than or equal to 5, or at least the loop part of the code. So if I were to run this, you will see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there they are. So a couple of things that I want to talk about. If you go right here after the for loop, if I were going to try to print out the final value of x, which appears to be 6, because that's when the loop was stopping, we're going to get an error. And the problem is that the variable x is declared within the for loop. If we would like to use it afterwards, I'm going to have to get rid of the int part of the declaration of x within the for loop and actually declare it before the for loop. So here now I declare before the for loop, I modify it within, and then I can use it afterwards. And so now you can see that it's printing out that the final value is 6. One other thing that's interesting that I want to show you is what happens if I start playing with a variable inside of the loop while it's running. So the body of my loop now has 3 commands. And here's how it starts. So once again, I'm making a variable x, and I'm initializing it to be 1. I make sure it's less than or equal to 5, which it is. And then the very first thing it prints out is 1. I increase x to 2, and then I print out 2. So the very first thing that I should see on the screen is a 1 followed by a 2. Then makes x into a value of 3, which is still less than or equal to 5. So then it prints out 3, changes x to 4, and prints out 4. Goes back around, increases x one more time to 5. And since 5 is still less than or equal to 5, it sounds good to go in here and print out 5. Now here's where things can be a little bit confusing. The next command increases x to 6. The loop doesn't stop at that point, and the reason why it doesn't stop is because it doesn't do this check yet. Even though x has exceeded 5, the code is going to keep running. It will go down here and print out the value of 6, go up here and make x 7, and now that this condition is false, that's where it'll exit the loop and print out the final value of 7. So I'm going to run it to see that that's the case, and there you have it. So that's a little bit of the life cycle of a for loop and how it works, and hopefully that made some sense.